Hey guys, welcome to Ida's Food Diaries. In this video, we will be making cream puffs. This recipe may seem easy, but trust me, I failed a few times. But if you do it the right way, you will get them perfectly and you will have a classic French dessert at home. I will leave a link for the full recipe in the description box below. To start, it's best to prepare the filling to let it cool ahead of time. We will be making a pastry cream. In a saucepan or a pot, combine the milk, the 1/3 cup of sugar, vanilla extract, and salt. Most recipes don't require salt, but I like to add a pinch because the salt really brings out the flavors of this cream. Let this simmer on low heat, stirring occasionally. In a separate bowl, add the combined egg yolks and whole egg, and the 1/4 cup sugar, and give this a quick mix. Next, add your sifted cornstarch and mix it again until the mixture turns light in color. Get the hot simmered milk mixture and pour a little of it at a time into the egg mixture. Do not ignore this process. This is tempering the eggs. If you combine these mixtures otherwise, or combine these all at once, there is a 100% chance your eggs will cook and curdle, and we absolutely do not want that. After properly tempering the mixture, transfer this back to the pot or saucepan on moderate heat and stir constantly until this forms to a creamy and thick mixture. Turn off the heat and add the butter. Mix until the butter has completely melted into the cream. Transfer this to another container and cover with plastic wrap, making sure it touches the cream. This will prevent a film from forming. Allow it to cool and store this in the fridge for a few hours or until ready to use. For the dough, also known as choux paste, add water, the milk, salt, sugar, and butter in a saucepan or pot. Let this simmer in low heat. Once it starts to simmer, turn off the heat, then add the sifted flour all at once, stirring constantly. Turn on the heat once again and stir until there are no more visible lumps of flour and it forms into a ball. Transfer this to another bowl and let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. While letting that cool, you can prepare your eggs. I'd just like to give a little tip. Crack your eggs first in a separate bowl so that it will be easier for you to remove shells if there are any, and also to check if your eggs are fresh. Once your choux paste or dough has cooled, add the eggs one at a time, beating after each addition. I am using an electric hand mixer, but you can do this with a rubber spatula or a wooden spoon. After adding all the eggs, beat another minute until it's smooth and turns to a thick ribbon paste when pulled up. Transfer the dough to your prepared piping bag. I fitted mine with an 847 tip because it helps the dough to form a nice shape once it's baked. By the way, you can use some of the remaining choux paste and place a little on the bottom corners of the parchment paper so that it will stick to the pan. Before piping it onto your prepared pan, brush the parchment paper or silicone mat with a little bit of water because this will help your dough to rise. Pipe dollops of the dough onto the paper depending on the size you like. I like to count to 2 for each pipe. At this point, you can already preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 280 degrees Celsius. Tap the top of each dollop with some water on your fingertip to prevent peaks from forming. Make sure to leave spaces between because they will double in size. Bake these for exactly 10 minutes. Then, without opening the oven doors, reduce the temperature to 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 163 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes or until you get that nice golden brown color. After getting it out of the oven, remove this from the pan immediately and allow this to cool on a wire rack. If you don't remove this from the pan immediately, it will stick to the paper and be hard to remove, leaving holes at the bottom like this. At this point, you can already put the pastry cream in your piping bag, but make sure to give it a quick mix to restore the softness of the cream. You can assemble these in two ways. The first way is simple and easy. Fill it up by injecting the cream into the side of the shells using a cream injector tip, or any tip you have as long as it is easy for you to use. Another way to assemble these, which is my favorite way, is to cut the top off with a serrated knife. You can see how hollow it is inside, and that is how it should be. Then, with a fitted open star tip, pipe in the pastry cream, filling in the hollow space, and put the top of the shell back on. This is right about done, but I wanted to get a little fancier, so I made a coffee flavored cream using a DALGONA cream, which is super easy. In a bowl, just add a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of instant coffee powder, and a tablespoon of hot water. Then beat until soft peaks form. Once it's whipped, fold in the pastry cream until well combined and it is ready to use. Normally, I would just add a tablespoon of instant coffee powder to the pastry cream while it was still hot, but I like to do this version because this really helps the cream to be more stabilized. And I get to call this DALGONA cream puffs. So there you have it, a classic French dessert at home. You can store this in the fridge for about 2 days, then serve this by topping it with some powdered sugar. I hope you guys will enjoy these cream puffs as much as my little cousin did because these are crazy good. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more recipes and videos like this. Thank you so much for watching!